Hello everyone, this is Meshif, aka Talk to Meshif. I'm a big Diablo 3, or Diablo 2 fan. I'm also a big Lil Jon fan as I begin my GG with a little GG skeet skeet. And with me today is...
I'm Axion, and as we're about to see, I have a little bit of an issue with Fox being in this game.
Yeah, if you look at Fox over here, he is the Zerg over here, one of the double Foxes. Double Zergs, excuse me, double Fox.
I
And
mean, double foxes are always bad when you're being Star Wolf over here, so,
a
little
little...
whole N64 throwback for you guys if you were into that kind of thing.
I think you're maybe talking about Zelda, or maybe I'm just not sure. I was never a huge N64 fan, so you've got me on that one.
Okay. Um, anyway, we're gonna jump back to the game quickly. It seems that you're pinging the map there. I believe we were talking about where best to wall off at a choke. This was the first time we did play this map. It's called Tempest. We're versus two Zerg, Chronic, and Fox. So we were a little bit confused about what we were supposed to do with the map.
Yeah, I mean we were looking at this here, and you got a really huge main base type area, and then you kind of get your secondary, your natural expansion right here, and then there's kind of two chokes right here, here and here, for those naturals, and we were debating trying to go wall off there because against Zerg, you always want to have a good wall, but we thought it was a little too risky. In that sense, it's kind of a little too aggressively defensive, and we thought that our efforts were better served to just try to wall in our mains and get some front wall off first.
And it looks like we got scouted right away, and we're both going 12 racks, 13 gas, and it looks like from Chronic we had a 14 pool, 14 gas, and from Fox about the same thing, maybe a 14 pool, 15 gas.
Yeah, and
We're both throwing down our orbital commands right now. Well, I'm throwing down my orbital command.
I
I guess we're a
paused
little
it
bit late
here.
right now.
I paused the game at 2:45 because I wanted to just kind of compare on the production tab, see exactly what our opponents were doing and exactly where we were. As you can see, they're both getting their spawning pools down at the same time. So if you look, you kind of look at them, they're pretty much going both the exact same build. And if you look at us, we're pretty much going the exact same build too. We both got our refineries on the way. I have my refinery on the way here, 2:45, but Axion already has his finished, so he's a little bit ahead of me, and we're just trying to get our fronts walled off. So I just want to take a quick look at how everyone was pretty much going, how the two Zergs really, it should be noted that they were both going the exact same build, and we definitely should be worried about some early pressure. And now, if we're ready to go on now, we see that my supply depot up front is going, it's just about finished, and I've almost got my wall in complete, but there is the Overlord in my base, so we've already been scouted essentially.
Now, I would like to say that that second supply depot may have been a little bit preemptive. I mean, you're 13 under supply right now, and sure, you could get some Zerglings running towards your base pretty soon, but if you just, I see you're not making a Marine and you have 140 minerals out of your barracks just went up. So were you to not have that depot, you could have two or three Marines hold position there, and they could really just sit there and prevent the Zerglings from getting through.
Yeah, that was definitely a good call from you. You're right. Now that you say that, I realize that's definitely what I should have done. I guess I sometimes, against Zerg, I always worry about Zerg and early pressure, and I'm getting my third barracks already, so I guess I'm playing a little too production, too macro oriented. Trying to just get my my Terran turtle up and focus on the production. But if we go to the Zerg bases over here, we see Chronic's got his queen out. We see his Roach Warren on the way. And Fox also has his queen out, and we see the Baneling's nest on the way. So a little bit of different plays from where they're going with that.
As well as Ling Speed is also there.
Oh, that is good to know that they're getting that metabolic boost, which is going to give them that added speed, which can be real devastating early game.
Yep. And I would also like just to make a comment about how quickly you got up your three barracks. I would just like to know one of the common things that players fall into is trying to get too many units out too fast. And realistically, at how many SCVs do you have on minerals right now? You've got 10 SCVs on minerals and 6 on gas. And with that few on minerals, there's no way that you can realistically support out of 3 barracks at the same time consistently while keeping up with supply and possibly getting an upgrade such as Spin.
Yeah, if you look at harvesters, actually, I'm at 17 right now, which is the lowest. That's pretty bad for me. And I really, you're right. It cannot be justified really. I definitely went for the early. I kind of got in that mindset where I just wanted to get my production facilities and get them all out there. So like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start producing units. But then, hey, my economy is too far behind. I can't produce. Look, I only have one Marauder going at one time, so it's kind of like I can't even produce out of all 3 barracks completely effectively. So what was the point of that?
Now, and if we look at me, I'm just getting my add-ons for my 2nd and 3rd barracks. I could have been doing a better job of producing throughout this, as I only have 3 Marauders and a Marine right now. And if we jump over to Chronic's base, he has a lair going up with quite a few roaches down at the moment. And Fox is currently researching centrifugal hooks, or centrifugal hooks, for his, looks like, 8 banelings that he has out in the field, which could be pretty devastating against your supply depot front or my supply depot front.
Yeah, I mean, the baneling bust is obviously very useful, and we see a few Zerglings moving out across the map right here, actually. Luckily I did have enough Marauders, and I did have a solid wall, and they try your door. Not going to work there either. They try my door one more time, maybe something's changed, maybe I've ran away. But, nope, still there, and, they're able to get, 48 damage done to my supply depot. Not really worth it, pretty strange for him to try to run up mine, then up your door, and then go back to mine. Not really anything going to happen from that.
Now, I'd say right now that I think we're in an okay position, but one thing that we did not know about was both of them were expanding right now.
Yes, if we look down at the 7 and the 8 o'clock position, really the Fox and Chronic both started their expansions, and this was definitely not something we were aware of during the game. They didn't take their kind of main natural expansions right in front of their bases, so we definitely weren't prepared for that, and it was a good job of Axion to have his SCV here in the middle to scout generally what was going on, and sending out a Marine too to scout in, which is actually a pretty smart play at this point. We don't have any air units to send in, and we don't want to really send in any scans yet. But sends the Marine in, and the Queen comes out, and he obviously ignores that, runs straight in, gets as much information as he can. Fox is hiding his Baneling ball and doing a pretty good job of that. He did not.
Yeah, I would definitely say I was not aware of how many Banelings he had at that point, because we're going to see soon. After that scout, I communicated to Mesher that I think we should push, because I really didn't see that many units. So that's really my fault there for underestimating the amount of Banelings that Fox had.
Yeah, that was definitely something that we were not aware of, and we saw the Baneling nest, but we were like, hey, these guys have not much base. Also should have keyed us into the fact that he probably had expanded. Even though we did not see anything as natural as, that should have been in our minds, and we do see the Baneling ball moving out. They're going to waste a couple of Banelings on the SCV and hold the watchtower. A couple drones being main-arted here, and a pretty heavy Zergling and roach force moving out across the map.
Yeah, I would say definitely right now, they might have a little advantage in terms of units. We have the defender's advantage at the moment, but we'll see how this impending battle goes, because it looks like they're moving
And here comes the Baneling bust up my front door, and they take out both add-ons and both barracks, and a fair amount of units as well. So that was a pretty good bust, and then the Zerglings are right there to run up. Pretty smart play. The roaches get on the low ground, being spotted by the Zerglings on the high ground, which is also pretty smart play. Thankfully, Axion moves out and kind of gets them, kind of pinches them from behind, which is really helpful of him. But if we look at units lost right now, I believe that we had taken pretty much, I had taken the brunt of that, over 2,000 resources lost, but Fox and Chronic themselves had lost between them over 3,000, so technically, in a pure resources sense, we were ahead right now. But, with those expansions just finishing and, fully saturated, the Foxes already, we're definitely in no huge lead right now.
Yeah, I think it was right about now I decided, I'd say this is an excellent push. We probably should have been considering expansions at this point, because if you look right now, they don't have a ton of units. I would say we definitely have an army advantage, and there's going to be a point where I think I have a pretty horrendous misclick that pretty much just costs us the battle, if not the game. Because yeah, it looks like he's morphing all of these Zerglings into Banelings, and we're going to see a pretty terrible misclick that just ends up in our entire force getting destroyed.
And you should note that I did give control of my units to Axion, as I did have a small force, but I said, hey, why don't you just take control? And here comes the Banelings getting the surround on the forces. Luckily, he tries to microwave as best as he can, but pretty big explosions going down, and the Zerglings coming in to finish off the job.
Yeah, and I mean, really from there, there's not much we could do. I think I started going towards siege tech at this point because I knew I haven't quite started yet, but I knew that there was I needed to hold my ramp. That was the only way that I was going to get myself back into this game, is if I could prevent the inevitable counter.
That was a pretty good job to pick up the few forces that you could and come back up here, but unfortunately, you know, that's a bunch of Zerglings at this point. And he was able to really get the surround down. You couldn't pick him up, and you know, that was that for the rest of our units. And you know, now this pretty much the Zergling army is rolling out across the map, and my front door is just being resecured. And you know, I should have thought about moving some units to maybe change that, and or moving some buildings to get a better front. And I didn't have any defense at this point, so you know, pretty bad play on my part to waste these resources on these buildings without any protection. I have plenty of resources right now. I'm getting my tanks out, but it's pretty late.
And it looks like I pushed down to help, but at this point, there's really too many Zerglings. There's not much I can do about this.
Yeah. At this point in the game, they have pretty much overrun us with the Zerglings. You know, it really came down to the unit composition, and you know, it requires a lot of micro to take down these Zerglings. And you know, my tanks finally come out here, but it's too little, too late. And you know, at one point earlier in the game, after that initial attack, we did have the unit advantage as we pushed out across. But you know, all those Banelings are able to do that splash damage and really take out, you know, that battle that happened right here. Really was the death of us.
It really was. I'm really right about now. They're just taking out the rest of their base. I'm trying to hold on as best I can, but I mean, my siege tech is only halfway done, and it's not going to be much longer until they hit my base. I'm not even sure if I'll have siege tech finished by then.
And there's a little bit of me questioning their decision to go mass Zerglings. You know, it's kind of a little bit frustrating for me for that to happen. You know, good holding the Zerglings off at your front door, but you know, my base is pretty much done. I moved the rest of my forces in here. It's pretty much all I can do, and you know, they're each on now 2 bases. Fox is actually on 3, so you know, it's only a matter of time. You do have the Axion does have the planetary fortress up, but just not really fully mining there, and you know, and it's pretty vulnerable right now to a Zergling surround. So
yeah,
finally gets the siege tech out. Gets the Thor there, but at this point, you know, they're just going to out macro us, and here comes a big Baneling ball coming up the ramp, and the tank's only going to get a couple shots off, and they just roll through that,
yeah.
surround that Thor, surround the tank, into the command center. You know, Axion, being the gentleman that he always is, gives them the well played, and they definitely did outplay us, despite at the time what I thought. Although to be fair, he did give me a little taste of my own medicine, and
true, but
a little
GG more for us. Can anything better?
You know, GG mo for us is pretty much all that sums it up. We lost. We got outplayed. I didn't want to admit it, and definitely something I'm working on is as Axion would say, a rage problem.
It's always, you know, it's always frustrating to lose a game, and sometimes the rage just comes out. As long as you keep improving on it.
Yeah, I'm definitely here to have fun and, you know, not make enemies, but I'd rather make friends. And you know, raging isn't the best way to do that. And we also do see some mutas coming in here from Chronic at the end, so they definitely out macroed us. Taking those early expansions when we weren't aware of was key. And yeah, the unit composition was pretty good. They busted down our front doors, and we just weren't able to react in time. So GG for them, and hope you guys enjoyed this game. And
Yep.